I had a chat to Matt from Brisbane band Walken, who recently released their new single Eagle Eye and were on the road for an East Coast tour. Walken, you guys have made your way down to Melbs for the final leg of your Keeping It Flaccid tour. How's it been so far?
Yeah, it's been really awesome actually. Hey, we started off the tour in Queensland. We did the sunny coast in Brisbane, and then did Toowoomba and Bundaberg, and those were all awesome. Like, we played some great places and played with some awesome bands, and had a good turnout to those, which was real fun. And then we finally trekked down to Lismore and then Sydney. We played 2 Sydney shows, and then did Maruya and Wollongong over the past week and a half, and
cool.
that was amazing. And we got to stay in Wollongong at our mate Sweeney's place from Kaleidoscope, and they're an amazing band, and he's a great dude. And yeah, that was just really fun. And we finally got down to Melbourne yesterday. We're staying at a few mates' places, and just been trekking around the city today, and it's been really fun. So looking forward to playing the Tote and doing all that jazz. It's really good.
So playing the Tote tomorrow night and Music Man in Bendigo on Saturday. How does it feel? You nearly finished the tour, so what can we expect? Are we gonna need to prepare ourselves for a party, or what's gonna happen?
I'm definitely sure we'll be kicking on after the Tote and the Music Man. It should be pretty good. And just playing with some awesome bands and just pretty much having a good night and playing some fun music. And yeah, it should be a really good time. So I'm pretty keen for it all.
You have been touring with Maddy Chanter, which I believe you share band members with. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are you in that band as well?
Yeah. So I play bass in Maddy Chanter, and BJ, who's the drummer for Walken, he sings in Maddy Chanter, so he's the lead vocalist. So pretty much, we're in both bands, and pretty much they're both our babies, I guess, in a sense. And Muddy's like the collective of all 5 of us, and then Walken's us plus our lead guitarist Pat, who's the third member of Walken. So yeah, it's just this collective of 6 people pretty much. And then we've got Pat from Walken's. We got his older brother Heath on the road as well to help out with driving and merch stuff. So yeah, it's been really fun.
Do the 2 bands differ at all, kind of in terms of style and influences, or?
Yeah, definitely. Like with Walken, pretty much I've been the standalone member from the beginning. Like BJ and Pat are relatively new on the scene, I guess, in that sense. And Walken's always been primarily my main writing avenue, because I've always been a big fan of alternative rock and grunge and hip hop and all that sort of stuff. So I like to kind of give that a go and do my sort of thing there. Whereas Muddy's more of a collective effort. Like it's us 5 mates, and we've been mates for numerous years. Mitch and BJ and Maddy Chanter, they're both brothers, so obviously they've been together their entire lives. And then there's Luke and Griff, who are the guitarist and drummer, and they've been all friends with Mitch and BJ since high school. And pretty much I've been friends with the guys for about 4 years, just through the Brisbane scene and gigs and all that sort of stuff, and then eventually started playing with them. And we all ride with Muddy, and that's more like this indie rock alternative sort of thing, where it's like everyone sort of contributes everything to it, and has more of a just like an indie surfer rock sort of avenue. But then it's more like lighthearted and this collective of 5 friends making this one beast, I guess, in a sense. So yeah, they're both amazing for different reasons in that sense, I guess.
And you're not sick of hanging out with each other, I guess?
Nah, we all see each other every day anyways. We're everyone in Maddy pretty much hangs out every day or second day together. Me, Mitch and BJ all live together, and Mitch and I work together as a day job. Pat lives 5 minutes away from us. I work with Pat's older brother Heath, and we're all like this one collective of people all the time. So we're pretty used to it, eh?
Got a little family going.
Yeah, pretty much. I originally met Pat and Heath, those 2 dudes, because they're brothers, and they play in a band called Dead Wolves. So I met those guys a couple of years ago in the Brisbane scene. And we just kind of started playing through that, and I met Mitch and BJ and their old band Junkyard Diamonds, and then started playing in Maddy Chanter, and then started Walken and all that sort of stuff. So everything's kind of stemmed from this one place, I guess. So we're all mates first, and that's what makes it pretty easy.
What's it like playing 2 sets every night?
It's definitely tiring, but I love it. It's I'm a bigger guy, so it's kind of like motivation to pump out my exercise for the day. I'm just like, sweet, I'll just do 2 sets and I'll sweat it out.
With Walken, a lot of people say that your music shares similarities with bands like Violent Soho and DC Death Rays. Have these guys been major influences on your style?
Definitely. When we were all starting out, they were definitely a huge influence. Like, I'm still very close with the Soho guys. Like, Henry does all our photography. Their bassist does pretty much all the Walken and Maddy photography. And we always, like, can hang out with them whenever we get a chance. And like, I've always, chatted to him and Tid 12 a fair bit. But, like, when I was a teenager, I used to absolutely, I adored Violent Soho and Death Rays because they were just these dudes around the corner who were making this, amazing music. They were just these guys who, live, 20 to 30 minutes away from where I was, and I was like, they're making some amazing grunge and alternative rock and stuff. But yeah, like, as I've gotten older, I definitely feel that I've strayed away from listening to them heaps. Like over the past 2 years, I've definitely kind of delved into a lot more sort of hip hop and alternative and even like some electronic sort of stuff personally. Like, I don't really listen to that much heavier stuff anymore. Like, I don't really listen to punk rock much. Like, the only thing I really consistently listen to nowadays is like the untitled Blink-182 album, because I really love that stuff. And I know the occasional NoFX or Bad Religion and Pennywise and stuff, but overall, it's just kind of grown a bit tiring to me personally. But I just kind of dip into phases of music. Really, I don't listen to that sort of stuff too much. But yeah, they've definitely been big influences, just being a very prominent Brisbane band who was making the sort of stuff that I adored when I was a teenager. That's for sure. But
well, Eagle Eye is your new single, and I really like it.
Thank you.
What can you tell us about this track? What are the influences behind this?
Well, it was one of those tracks that, like, typically in terms of my writing process, I'll always like to write instrumentals first and then go from there and figure out everything. I guess with that one, it was just one of those songs that was just done in one sitting. It was real quick and easy, and you can kind of tell by the sort of song it is. Like, it plays around that one sort of riff a fair bit. 3 chords, very simple sort of punky gem. And yeah, like, I don't know, I just wanted to kind of make something that was just still had that sort of punky edge to it, and you pump up the gigs a bit more, I guess, when it needed to. And I just, kind of just had that sort of lyrical topic about it all that I just wanted to kind of give it a go, because that's kind of where it started, just lyrics first and then 3-chord guitar thing, and then figured out the rest. And yeah, no, really, I think it's a quick sort of catchy song and it does what it needs to do. So it's, I'm pretty stoked with how it all turned out as well, because working with Bryce Moorhead, who does all the recording stuff, he's just an amazing producer to work with. So I'm really stoked with how that all turned out, and it sounds good, so I don't have any complaints.
You even said yourself that the single kind of channels your teenage love for Blink-182 and The Offspring, which I think definitely. A lot of us who grew up listening to the same music can relate to. But is this something you want to continue pushing in your music and something you want people to recognise?
Well, yeah, in a sense. Like, there's always been, I guess, a definitive sort of pop punk and pop rock and alternative rock sort of element to what I enjoy writing. So I guess that'll always be there. And like you would have heard in the past single, Even If It Kills Me and Eagle Eye, they're both that similar sort of straight edge sort of alternative rock sort of style, I guess, where it's just straight to the point and no hesitation, loud soft dynamics, all that sort of jazz. But in terms of writing, like I've always really looked up to people like Regurgitator and stuff, who can just drop and meld and change genres and change their style just straight up. And then there's people like Radiohead who can kind of just change their style per album and figure out these different sounds for new releases and kind of evolve, I guess. And that's kind of what I want to strive for. I don't really want to just have a set sound for the band, if that makes sense. But I'd like to have a key identifier, which I guess would always just be just the basic sound. There'll always definitely be a certain style to how I enjoy writing, so I definitely feel that it'll always resonate. But I'd love to just explore structuring and production and genre hopping and all that sort of stuff as much as I can, really.
Yeah, it's good to have that mindset too, because you attract a new fan base. It's a way to kind of expand your music to people who might not have listened to you beforehand as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I always get that, like, there's always pros and cons of that sort of stuff, because obviously you can disappoint certain fans in your current fan base, and I get that sort of thing. But I've always kind of liked the general artist approach, where it's just this is your thing, and you're going to control it the way you want to, I guess, and write songs that you need to. And obviously, when one song gets tiring after a while, I'll obviously push yourself to do things just for the sake of it. You have to always keep yourself happy first, I guess, and write the music you want to. That's kind of what I really want to strive for, and just push my own boundaries as a musician, I guess.
So you did say, I don't know, you've got new influences coming in with your music, but you did release another single last year called Even If It Kills Me. Is there more new music on the way? Like, do you have an EP or an album in the works?
Yeah, well, pretty much an EP is what we're going for at the moment. It's nothing really set in stone, I guess, but we do have currently nearly 5 tracks that's recorded, and obviously 2 that have been released so far, and that will most likely amount towards a 5-track EP. But yeah, at this stage it's kind of all up in the air, just because there's still a bit of recording and mixing and mastering and stuff to do, and a few little things to figure out. But I definitely think that's probably going to be the end game. Would probably be a 5-track EP at some stage this year.
So where can everyone check out your music?
We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, Triple J on Earth. We're available on Facebook if you want to get in touch and chat about stuff, or pretty much if you just want to have a chit chat, we're always there. And we're available on Twitter and Instagram and all that jazz. It's usually just Walken Band or Walken Oz or Walken Band B&E.